Ride and watch hentai all the time with my soul is tormented by a succubus. Call assist, pencil dripping from the way I spit. Fell in love with this. Since got music now she...
Hello and welcome back everyone. The name is Kahenkio and the game is Pokemon Duel. I had a little bit of theory crafting a really long while back that I totally forgot about, and it just resurfaced today because obviously having a vacation and having your mind off of different things will make you remember stuff that you had forgotten. And yeah, my theory about this game was very specific, okay? 3 rolls wins you a game. I think it's already been proven 1,000 times, but there's another one. The other theory that I have here is that every wheel starts with an attack. If you check different Pokemon, it might be like, this Pokemon is a Gust, this Pokemon is Break Energy, this Pokemon is whatever, Miss or whatever not. It doesn't really matter. It matters if you want to understand which Miss is going away when you're going to make this Pokemon level 5 or level 10, whatever, if you are available to do that. But it doesn't really matter in general. You should know that the first miss that comes on your wheel is the one that will be going away first, because that's how this game works. So if I were to expand Lugia's whatever ability, the first miss would go away. And that is important to understand because my theory lays in this. If you calculate these numbers right here on the side, the 8, 24, 24, 24, 8, and 8, they make a total of 96 segments. That's why you don't hear me saying, oh, but this attack is 40% of my will, because it's not by percent. The will is not 100. The will is 96. So that 40 is 40 segments of my 96 total. But my theory lies in this. What actually RNG means? RNG is a random number generator. Random number generator is when you click on an attack on an enemy, it will roll the dice and give you any number from 1 to 96, and the same will do for your opponent. And depending on that number, your ability is on that list. So basically, if I would roll anywhere from 1 to 8, I would roll a miss. And if I would roll anywhere from 9 to 32, I would get the Air Blast. You know, my number matters. I don't see the number, I just see the will and what attack I spin, but behind that, there is the random number generator. So basically speaking, if my Pokemon loves to spin, I don't know, 55, okay, 55 on this wheel would be the Cyclone, because 8 plus 24 plus 24, that's 48, that's 56, well, nah, it's gonna be still it's still gonna be in the Cyclone area, right? It's just right before the next Air Blast. So anywhere from 33 to 56, I would still be rolling a Cyclone. And if my Pokemon enjoys rolling those numbers, I will be getting the result that I want more than often. But what if my Pokemon decides to be rolling, I don't know, the most common would be 48 to 65, or something along those lines, which makes it sometimes Cyclone, sometimes Air Blast. How can we change that? And that's where the great part of leveling comes in, because what I'm saying basically here is depending on what ability you level on your Pokemon, the other abilities will be spun in order as well. Like per se, we can take an example in my Sceptile, alright? I'm gonna do Disc Reset, and we can see the details. Right now, my Sceptile has a 15 Quick Attack, 48 Lift Blade, and 33 Stealth Hit. Which means if I spin anywhere from 16 to 63, right, I'm going to be spinning the Lift Blade. And 64 is Stealth Hit, and anywhere below the 16 is the Quick Attack. So I don't want to be spinning from 1 to 16. I decrease that. But I needed more data. Like, if I could have access to the amount of random numbers that my Sceptile spins and have the average of those numbers, I could manipulate my wheel accordingly. Per se, instead of decreasing the Quick Attack, because let's say my Sceptile never, ever spins from 1 to 12 to 20. Like, it spins super rarely 1 to 20. Of course, that's not the case. It always spins like 5 or 10. But let's assume that my Sceptile hates spinning anything from 1 to 20, and my Quick Attack is actually one ability that is really rare to hit. And the numbers actually support it, because I can see, if I'm assumingly saying, if I had the list with all the numbers, I could see that my Sceptiles just loves to roll their freaking 70, alright? So what I would like to do him is to roll the stealth hit as much as possible. Basically, that's my personal opinion about Sceptile. I want him to roll the stealth hit. So what I would do here, I would decrease the relief blade and increase the stealth hit. Because this is going to be like 20 or something, right? And this is going to be like, I don't know, less or more or whatever, but lower than the 60 something mark that I mentioned earlier. And the 60 something mark that my Sceptile hits the most would be the stealth hit. That's exactly what I would love having it doing if I wanted to be landing the stealth hit some more. Let me make another example because I think I got confused myself a little bit on there. Let's take the Zapdos, alright? How many times have you taken your Zapdos and rolled a miss? Okay, Zapdos doesn't have much room for improvement, frankly speaking, because his wheel is only 1 point from the miss. But if you calculate it properly, your Steel Wing begins with 16 segments, so is your Roost, and only Thunder Charge is on 20. While your Thunder Crush begins on somewhere of 34 or 36, I'm not entirely sure. But you want to decrease that miss as much as possible. But what if your Zapdos loves rolling? If we count here, 15 plus 41, that's going to be 56, right? Plus 4, that's 60. So anywhere from 56 to 60 is a miss in your wheel. What if your Zapdos just loves rolling 57? Like, if you could pull out the statistics from what your Zapdos has been hitting, and you can see that your Zapdos is hitting 57 more than often, more than ever, anything else. He likes to roll freaking fucking 57. Like, out of the 3,000 duels that I have, he rolled a 57 100 times. Everything else was dispersed and whatever, not important. Okay? So, I'm just saying, maybe that switch in the wheel, like, you do increase your Thunder Crush, and your Thunder Crush from the small segment increase, well, I need to confirm in order to have it legit, but your Thunder Crush from, this is 16 plus maybe, let's say 36, okay? It becomes from 17, okay, because 16 is still wing, it becomes 17, all the way to 52. It doesn't reach the 56 area, right? You know what I'm saying? Or is it 52? I don't, excuse me about my math, it's just still early and I'm like back in it. So you expand it and you decrease the miss, so you have more area that your Thunder Crush will crush. And then you have the rest of the ability, and if you see me doing that right, exactly this, can you see all the abilities switching a little bit of the place? And it all starts from the Steel Wing. Steel Wing is the most important ability because that's where your will starts. Your will starts exactly from here, and it starts counting your number that you choose starts going in there. So boom, Steel Wing, and then everything else. You want your Zapdos to be hitting anywhere from 16 on that RNG wheel to 16 plus 41, that's like 57. So you want your Zapdos to be hitting up to 57, okay? So what you do here, you increase your Thunder Crush, you press OK, you decrease the miss, alright? And since your Zapdos is so cool at hitting 57, if you decrease this one by 1 point, suddenly your Thunder Crush ends at 56. Because if you calculate it properly, it just ends and the 57 becomes a miss. But what if you could expand the Steel Wing as you had and decrease the Roost? Now your 57 is still a Thunder Crush. Get it? Get it? It makes sense if you kind of think for it a little bit. I'm actually going to do this. Well, not the Roost, but, well, actually the Roost. But I'm actually going to do this. And I'm going to, see how much of a miss my Zapdos will keep on rolling right now. Because he's very prone on rolling a miss. And I believe that is just RNG, random numbing generator. But Steel Wing plus Thunder Crush, it's now my Thunder Crush moved 1 segment further from what it was from the start of the wheel. And now every time I would roll a 16, instead of a Thunder Crush, I will roll a Steel Wing. And every time I would roll 57, it will be a Thunder Crush instead of a miss. Okay? And every time I would roll 61 and further, that'd be Roost and Thunder Charge, etc., etc. I hope you do understand a little bit of how this theory works in my head. I don't know if I explained it properly or if it was clear enough, but it definitely makes sense. And that was just 2 generalized experiments, but examples. You can take many other Pokemon and see the same amount, like Lunala right here. Okay, Lunala's will starts with the Moongeist Beam, so anytime she rolls anywhere from 1 to 23 in there, the imaginary, not imaginary, but unseen, not seen to us real, she will do the Moongeist Beam in my specific scenario. Anytime she rolls anywhere from 24 to further ahead to 60, 72, right? She rolls a Psychic. The rest is Will-O-Wisp, and there's of course a chance of a miss after that. So Lunala doesn't, the miss is the last, so Lunala, when rolling super high numbers on that random number generator, when she rolls anywhere from 92 to 96, she does miss. And that sucks of course, because she does like to roll high super much, but you don't want that. So what you want her to be doing is rolling low. You can't physically change that because that's not up to you, that's up to the game engine, and that's not something you do. But you can influence what kind of an attack will be landed once she lands the low roll. Because if you expand that Moongeist Beam to be half of your will almost, or 1/3 of your will, the low rolls increase in the favor of that Moongeist Beam. If you know what I'm saying. So if I were to put 6 more levels in this, 6 more levels in this, that would be a 29 Sigmund Moongeist Beam instead of a 20 Sigmund Will-O-Wisp or a 5 Miss or whatever not. Well, in any case, I just got tired, my brain worked too hard. It makes sense in my head. Hopefully you do understand what exactly I'm saying here, because that just switches the gameplay drastically, frankly. If you consider some figures do have the tendency to roll low numbers in general, like this Heatran dude. The Heatran just loves rolling the Magma Slide, which means Heatran enjoys rolling high numbers in general. He just loves rolling high numbers, that's it. He either goes to the medium high from the Iron Head or the super high, which is the Magma Slide. And I've legitimate experienced my Heatran rolling the Magma Slide more than often. And that's why I wanted to expand the Iron Head some more, so it has more chance to land once he's rolling the Magma Slide anyway super often, you know? So that's about that. It just makes sense in general to me. Hopefully it does to you. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. It's just, it just hit me super hard again, and I wanted to share. So, as for this, I don't know if you agree. If you do agree, leave it down in the comments. If you don't agree, tell me your theory down in the comments. I'm Kahenkio. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. And as always, have a nice day.